Beloved friends, today I invite you to open your hearts and minds as we consider a serious matter that affects not only our homes but our very souls. In every dwelling there lies the potential for spiritual invasion when items of darkness, steeped in occult symbolism or born of misguided fascination, take root and invite unclean influences. We must ask ourselves, are our sanctuaries truly sanctuaries? Or have we unknowingly left the door open to forces that seek to lead us astray? Within the quiet confines of our daily lives, there exists an often overlooked yet profound reality. Spiritual danger is ever present, waiting to subtly infiltrate the sanctuaries we hold dear. The items we surround ourselves with, those that seem innocuous or even beautiful, can sometimes serve as unexpected gateways for negative energies. It is not a matter of fear, but of keen discernment, a call to open our eyes and hearts to the possibility that not every object carries only positive intent. Every piece, every symbol, and every artifact that finds its way into our homes carries with it a history and an energy that can either uplift our spirit or invite a presence that stands in opposition to the light of divine truth. The awareness of such danger is not about succumbing to a constant state of alarm, but rather about adopting a vigilant spirit that seeks to understand the deeper implications of our surroundings. It is a gentle reminder that while we may be drawn to the aesthetics and allure of worldly possessions, there lies a responsibility to question whether these items align with the values that elevate our souls. The spiritual realm is intricate and subtle. It does not always announce itself with thunderous signs. Often it is in the quiet spaces between our thoughts that the seeds of doubt and distraction take root, camouflaged within objects that might otherwise seem harmless. This awareness calls us to examine our homes as more than just physical structures. They are extensions of our inner world, reflections of the battles we face within ourselves. A home cluttered with items that do not resonate with the truth can become a stage for spiritual discord. It is as if the presence of these objects creates a friction that hinders the flow of divine grace, making it all the more challenging for light to permeate every corner. By understanding that every decorative piece or cherished relic carries with it an energetic signature, we begin to appreciate the necessity of curating our environment with a heart attuned to what is holy and pure. As we consider this truth, it becomes clear that the journey toward spiritual safety begins with introspection and prayer. The process of becoming aware is intertwined with the act of seeking divine guidance. When we reflect on the items in our midst, we are prompted to ask ourselves whether each one contributes to a spirit of hope, peace, and righteousness. This thoughtful examination is not meant to incite regret over past choices, but to empower us with the insight needed to make choices that honor our commitment to a higher calling. It is a conscious decision to allow only that which uplifts and nourishes our soul to occupy the space we call home. There is a profound wisdom in recognizing that the physical world is intertwined with the spiritual. The energy that fills a room can be palpably felt, whether it is the vibrancy of a joyful memory or the heaviness of past regrets. When objects in our surroundings resonate with negative influences, they can cloud our judgment and weaken the sanctuary we so desperately need. Such recognition is the first step in reclaiming our space and ensuring that every element within our homes serves as a testament to the goodness that we seek to embody. In being mindful of these energies, we are not simply reacting to a perceived threat. We are affirming our commitment to live in an environment where the sacred holds precedence over the mundane. Every time we choose to scrutinize our environment and clear away what does not serve our spiritual well-being, we are engaging in an act of renewal. It is a reminder that our journey is one of continuous growth and that awareness itself is a powerful tool in combating the subtle forces that would lead us astray. By cultivating a deep sensitivity to the spiritual dynamics at play in our everyday lives, we position ourselves to receive greater blessings and protection. The simple act of evaluating our surroundings becomes a spiritual discipline, one that fortifies our hearts against the encroachment of negativity and reaffirms our dedication to a life steeped in divine purpose. In this sacred pursuit, the call to be aware is both personal and communal. It invites us to share our insights with one another, encouraging our fellow believers to join in the collective effort to safeguard our homes and hearts. With each mindful decision, with each prayerful moment of reflection, we are steadily building a fortress of light, a living testimony to the enduring power of a life committed to truth and goodness. Many times we find that our understanding of conflict is limited to the visible world. In truth, however, there exists a profound battle that transcends the physical. It is a struggle fought in the realm of the spirit, where forces of darkness and light engage in an eternal contest. Each day, while we may be preoccupied with the challenges of work, family, or daily responsibilities, the true nature of our struggles lies not in what we can see, but in the unseen influences that shape our hearts and minds. The enemy does not always confront us with overt hostility. Instead, he works subtly, sowing seeds of doubt, fear, and discord that slowly undermine our spiritual strength. In this quiet, relentless warfare, every thought, every intention, and every decision becomes a battleground where the eternal conflict plays out. Our daily existence is interwoven with this hidden struggle, a reality that calls us to discern beyond the physical appearances that dominate our attention. The physical realm, with its natural laws and tangible experiences, is merely a reflection of a deeper spiritual reality. Beneath the surface of everyday life, forces of malevolence work tirelessly to infiltrate our inner sanctum, using everyday temptations and distractions as their instrument. This is not a war waged by brute force, but by the subtle manipulation of our vulnerabilities, where even the most ordinary situations can become opportunities for the enemy to erode our resolve. In recognizing this, we are reminded that our fight is not merely for the external peace of our homes or communities, but for the purity and strength of our inner selves. The struggle we face is not with flesh and blood, but with the spiritual powers that seek to undermine our well-being. While it is easy to focus on physical obstacles, financial difficulties, personal losses, or interpersonal conflicts, the deeper battle is waged in the realm of the spirit. Each moment of despair, every instance of moral compromise can be traced back to forces that work invisibly against our best interests. This understanding invites us to view our daily challenges through a different lens, one that sees beyond the immediate and superficial. By acknowledging that our trials are often manifestations of a broader spiritual conflict, we can begin to arm ourselves with the tools of faith and prayer, fortifying our hearts against the relentless assaults of negativity. Every decision we make is imbued with spiritual significance. When we choose love over hatred, forgiveness over bitterness, and hope over despair, we are not only nurturing our souls, but also actively resisting the insidious tactics of the enemy. The choices that seem mundane or inconsequential in the light of day become mighty acts of defiance when seen as part of a larger, unseen battle. In the quiet moments of reflection, when we turn our hearts toward prayer and seek guidance from the divine, we are engaging in a profound act of spiritual warfare. These moments of communion with a higher power imbue us with strength, reminding us that the victory we seek is not measured by worldly success, but by the integrity and resilience of our inner spirit. As we navigate the complexities of life, it becomes clear that the battleground of the spirit is both intimate and expansive. It is fought in the privacy of our thoughts and the solitude of our prayers. yet its impact radiates outward into every interaction and every facet of our existence. The enemy's strategy is subtle, often appearing in the guise of everyday challenges and setbacks. However, with a vigilant heart and an unwavering commitment to truth, we can recognize these deceptions for what they are and counter them with the light of divine wisdom. This spiritual engagement calls us to live with a heightened sense of awareness, where every action is an opportunity to reinforce our commitment to a life aligned with higher principles. The journey of spiritual warfare is arduous, demanding continuous vigilance and constant renewal of our inner strength. It is a path that requires us to look beyond the tangible, to see the spiritual implications of our surroundings, our relationships, and even our personal aspirations. In every trial and every moment of joy, there exists a deeper significance, a reminder that our lives are part of an ongoing battle between forces of light and darkness. This understanding does not lead us to despair, but rather inspires us to cultivate a resilient spirit, fortified by prayer, faith, and the unwavering belief that the power of goodness will always triumph over the shadows that seek to diminish our light. Within every heartbeat of our daily lives, there comes an urging, a subtle call that invites us to see more deeply, to perceive more clearly, and to understand beyond the surface of what is presented. This call for discernment is not merely a suggestion, but a sacred imperative, a divine invitation to seek truth amidst the noise of everyday existence. It asks us to look past what is immediately appealing and to examine with a discerning heart the influences that shape our thoughts, our emotions, and ultimately our destiny. In a world saturated with distractions, where messages and images constantly vie for our attention, the ability to discern what is truly good from what is fleeting and false becomes an essential act of spiritual self-care. It is a practice that goes beyond mere observation. It requires a deep, reflective introspection and a willingness to question even our most cherished assumptions. The process of discernment calls us to pause, to consider the source of each influence, and to decide whether it builds us up or tears us down. This inner work is not about cultivating skepticism for its own sake, but about nurturing a pure and undivided heart that remains steadfast in the pursuit of higher truth. Every choice we make, no matter how small, is imbued with spiritual significance. Whether it is the books we read, the art we admire, or the conversations we entertain, each decision creates ripples that extend far beyond the immediate moment. When we exercise discernment, we engage in a process of filtering, allowing only that which is rooted in love, truth, and light to enter our inner sanctum. This vigilant practice does not demand that we reject all that is worldly. Rather, it encourages us to appreciate beauty and wisdom while remaining cautious of that which may harbor hidden influences that lead us away from our divine purpose. The journey of discernment is an ongoing dialogue between our inner selves and the world around us. It requires a sensitivity that can only be cultivated through prayer, meditation, and a humble openness to divine guidance. In moments of quiet reflection, when the external clamor subsides, we are granted the opportunity to listen to the still, small voice that calls us toward clarity and understanding. It is in these moments that we come to recognize the subtle signs, those gentle reminders that encourage us to question, to evaluate, and to choose wisely. By inviting this deeper awareness into our lives, we empower ourselves to make decisions that align with a higher calling. This active engagement with life is not always an easy path to follow. It often demands that we confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world we inhabit. It challenges us to discern between genuine beauty and deceptive allure, to recognize that not every attractive offering leads us closer to fulfillment. In the midst of a society that prizes immediate gratification and superficial charm, the call for discernment is a call to patience, a call to invest in the slow and steady process of inner transformation. It reminds us that true wisdom is not found in haste or in the allure of quick fixes, but in the careful consideration of what nourishes the spirit over the long term. As we learn to cultivate discernment, we begin to see our lives through a new lens, one that values depth over flash, meaning over momentary pleasure. The practice of discernment transforms the mundane into the meaningful, turning everyday experiences into opportunities for growth and renewal. With every decision made in alignment with divine guidance, we reinforce the foundation of our inner world and create a sanctuary where light can flourish. This constant, mindful evaluation of our environment and our choices is what protects us from the insidious influence of those things that may seem harmless on the surface, but carry hidden burdens beneath. Embracing discernment means accepting that the journey toward truth is a lifelong pursuit, one that requires continuous learning and reflection. It is an ongoing commitment to being vigilant and intentional, to choosing a path that leads to deeper understanding and greater spiritual integrity. Each day presents new challenges and new chances to practice this sacred art, inviting us to step away from the chaos and find solace in the quiet assurance that comes from knowing what is truly valuable. In doing so, we honor the divine spark within us, ensuring that every part of our lives is a testament to the power of discernment and the light of truth that guides us forward. Many souls wander through life burdened by the weight of spiritual impurities, and the act of cleansing becomes a beacon of hope amid the darkness that surrounds us. In our daily lives, we are often surrounded by objects and influences that do not reflect the purity our hearts seek. It is crucial to understand that cleansing is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of renewal. Every moment offers an opportunity to remove the clutter and negativity that encumber our spirits. Whether it is the physical disarray in our homes or the lingering memories of past sorrows, cleansing restores balance and invites divine grace into our lives, creating a space where hope can flourish and light can prevail. In the quiet solitude of early morning prayer or during reflective moments in the stillness of an evening, the call for cleansing becomes unmistakable. It is in these moments that we confront the shadows both within and around us, learning to recognize the subtle sources of spiritual unrest. Cleansing is an act of humility and surrender, acknowledging that we cannot face the encroaching darkness alone. When we choose to remove unwanted influences from our environment, we open our hearts to a transformative power that revitalizes our inner being and reclaims our personal sanctuaries. This process is not merely about tidying up physical space. It is a profound act of reawakening the spirit and aligning our lives with a higher purpose. Approaching cleansing with intentionality means looking at every object and habit with discerning eyes. Each item we release represents a deliberate step toward reclaiming the sacred space that our soul deserves. It is a conscious decision to prioritize what nourishes our spirit over what clutters our lives. There is great courage in casting aside the remnants of past mistakes, negative memories, and inherited patterns that no longer serve our growth. This act of elimination is more than just physical removal. It is a spiritual purification that fortifies us against the subtle encroachments of despair and discouragement that seek to cloud our vision. The beauty of cleansing lies in its ability to transform the mundane into something transcendent. In the gentle sweep of a broom, in the deliberate sorting of cherished belongings, or in a heartfelt prayer of release, we witness the miraculous power of renewal. Each small act of cleansing reverberates with the promise of transformation, affirming that even modest changes can lead to profound shifts in our spiritual well-being. Our surroundings often mirror the state of our inner lives, and by cleansing our environment, we foster clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. This act becomes a metaphor for the deeper work that must occur within, shedding old layers to reveal the light and truth that lie beneath. Cleansing is an external and internal process that intertwines the physical act of removing unnecessary items with the spiritual act of letting go of long-held patterns and negative thoughts. It is an ongoing commitment to maintain a space where divine energy can flow freely and without obstruction. When we cleanse our homes, we are also cleansing our hearts. In doing so, we remove the barriers that hinder the full expression of love and gratitude within us, making room for the blessings of renewed spiritual strength. This holistic approach to cleansing is essential for anyone who desires to live in harmony with the principles of light and truth. It calls for daily attention, a mindful effort, and an unwavering commitment to creating a sanctuary that reflects our highest aspirations. In the midst of life's many challenges, the ritual of cleansing stands as a powerful symbol of resilience and determination to overcome the darkness that sometimes clouds our path. It is a conscious decision to break free from the cycle of negativity, to allow our inner light to shine without being obscured by the remnants of past errors or external influences. Every act of cleansing is a step toward reclaiming our sanctuaries, reinforcing our connection with the divine, and affirming our belief in the possibility of constant renewal. By letting go of what no longer serves us, we create space for the transformative power of grace and invite in the blessings that renew our spirit. Each cleansing act, whether grand or humble, brings us closer to living a life defined by light, love, and spiritual well-being, where every corner of our world reflects the beauty of a soul set free. In the midst of life's trials and tribulations, prayer stands as the sacred bridge between our mortal existence and the infinite realm of divine guidance. It is through prayer that we open our hearts to the whisper of the Almighty, seeking solace, strength, and wisdom amid the chaos of daily living. In the quiet moments of reflection, when the world around us seems to fade into silence, our souls are given the opportunity to commune with a power far greater than ourselves. This divine dialogue is not a one-sided conversation, but a mutual exchange, where our deepest hopes, fears, and desires are met with a gentle, assuring presence that offers clarity and comfort. It is a process that transforms ordinary moments into profound spiritual experiences, allowing us to feel the tender embrace of divine love and the subtle guidance that steers us toward paths of righteousness and peace. Prayer is not merely a ritual or a recitation of words. It is an intimate conversation that reaches into the very core of our being. In these moments of sincere supplication, we lay bare our hearts, inviting divine insight to illuminate the murkiness of our doubts and fears. Every prayer is a declaration of our faith, an acknowledgement that we are not alone in our struggles. It is a humble recognition of our limitations and an affirmation of the boundless strength that comes from a connection with the Creator. Through prayer, we learn to trust in a higher plan, even when the road ahead appears uncertain. It is in this trust that our spirits find the courage to face adversities, knowing that every trial is an opportunity for growth and every challenge a lesson in resilience. Divine guidance, as received through prayer, is both subtle and powerful. It may manifest as a quiet assurance in our hearts during a moment of indecision, or as a sudden clarity that dispels the fog of confusion. Often it comes in the form of intuitive insights or a renewed sense of purpose, gently nudging us away from harmful choices and towards the light of truth. This guidance is not forceful or coercive. Rather, it is a compassionate hand that steers us along the winding paths of life, offering support when our steps falter and encouragement when our resolve weakens. In our prayers, we open ourselves to this guidance, trusting that every whisper of inspiration is a divine message meant to uplift and sustain us. The act of prayer also cultivates an environment of spiritual receptivity within us. By consistently turning our thoughts to the divine, we create a sacred space in our hearts where divine light can reside. This inner sanctuary becomes a refuge from the relentless pressures of the outside world, a place where our souls can be nurtured and restored. It is in this quiet communion with the divine that we come to understand the true nature of grace. A grace that is not earned but freely given, a grace that transforms our weaknesses into strengths and our fears into unwavering faith. Each prayerful moment reinforces our connection with the divine, reminding us that guidance is always available, even in the darkest of times. In embracing the discipline of prayer, we also develop the discernment necessary to recognize the subtle signs of divine intervention. It is through regular communication with the Almighty that our spiritual eyes are opened, allowing us to perceive the gentle hints and affirmations that guide our decisions. This clarity of vision empowers us to navigate the complexities of life with confidence and conviction, secure in the knowledge that we are being led by a force that desires our ultimate good. The insights gained through prayer often reveal hidden truths about ourselves, our relationships, and the world around us, encouraging us to grow in wisdom and compassion. It is a process that continuously refines our inner lives, aligning our actions with the divine will. Furthermore, prayer provides us with the strength to overcome the myriad obstacles that life presents. When we face moments of despair or uncertainty, it is our prayers that lift us up, infusing our spirits with renewed energy and hope. The act of reaching out in prayer is an expression of our deepest reliance on divine support, a reminder that no burden is too heavy when shared with the one who holds the universe in his hands. This continual reliance on divine guidance teaches us humility and fortifies our faith, enabling us to meet each new day with a heart that is open, resilient, and full of gratitude for the blessings that surround us. In every whispered plea, every moment of silent contemplation, and every heartfelt thanksgiving, prayer weaves a thread of connection between our finite existence and the infinite expanse of divine love. It is in this sacred exchange that we find not only answers to our questions, but also the courage to embrace the journey ahead, confident that we are never alone. A sanctified home is more than just a physical dwelling. It is a haven where the spirit finds rest and the heart is continually renewed by divine grace. In choosing to commit to such a home, we are making a deliberate daily decision to welcome the sacred into every corner of our lives. Every item we display, every word we speak, and every relationship we nurture within our household reflects our dedication to creating an environment that is both uplifting and secure. The commitment to a sanctified home calls us to actively participate in the process of spiritual renewal, transforming our living spaces into sanctuaries of peace, love, and truth. This commitment begins with a conscious effort to invite the presence of the divine into our everyday routines. By establishing rituals of prayer, meditation, and reflection within the home, we create a continual dialogue with the Almighty. It is through these regular moments of spiritual communion that our homes become infused with an energy of hope and renewal. As we pause to give thanks and seek guidance, every room, every window, and every door becomes a witness to our steadfast devotion and our desire to live a life that honors a higher calling. The very act of coming together as a family to share in prayer not only strengthens individual faith, but also binds the family together in a shared commitment to uphold the values that define a sanctified home. In the face of a world filled with distractions and negativity, maintaining a sanctified home requires vigilance and intentionality. We must continually examine the influences that enter our homes, be it through media, personal interactions, or even the art and decor we choose to surround ourselves with. A true commitment means making the sometimes difficult choice to remove anything that may detract from the peace and spiritual purity we wish to cultivate. This is not merely an exercise in tidiness, but a profound spiritual discipline. It is an act of courage to renounce elements that do not serve the higher purpose. And in doing so, we create a space that is free from the encumbrances of negative energies. Our homes then become reflective of our inner resolve, a tangible reminder that our primary allegiance is to the values of truth, goodness, and divine love. As we clear the clutter, both physical and emotional, we also open our hearts to a new beginning. Every act of cleansing is a reaffirmation of our commitment to a sanctified home where old wounds are healed and new hopes are nurtured. This process invites us to let go of past regrets and to focus on the blessings that await us when our lives are aligned with the sacred. It is in the small acts of renewal, whether it be the careful rearrangement of a room, the removal of an object that carries a painful memory, or the heartfelt forgiveness extended to a family member, that we truly demonstrate our devotion to creating an atmosphere of sanctity. Such acts of renewal are the building blocks of a home that is not only physically beautiful, but also spiritually vibrant. In choosing to live in a sanctified home, we embrace the idea that our living space is a reflection of our inner world. When we commit ourselves to this ideal, we acknowledge that the home is a mirror of our soul, and thus it must be maintained with love, care, and dedication. Every conversation, every meal shared, and every quiet moment of contemplation contributes to the overall ambiance of the home. When these elements are infused with a sense of sacred purpose, the home becomes a place where the light of divine love shines brightly, dispelling the shadows of doubt and fear that too often linger in the corners of our hearts. In such a place, the challenges of the outside world are met with a resilient spirit, anchored by the assurance that our home is a fortress of divine protection and grace. The commitment to a sanctified home is an ongoing journey that calls for persistence and faith. It requires us to be both humble and courageous, willing to confront the imperfections within ourselves and our environment. This journey is not marked by a single act or a momentary decision, but by the cumulative effect of many small, faithful steps taken every day. It is in these moments of intentional living that we discover the true meaning of home, not as a mere shelter, but as a sacred space where our lives are continually transformed by the power of divine love. Each day that we wake up and choose to nurture this sanctity is a day of victory over the forces of chaos and negativity. It is a declaration that our home is, above all, a testament to our unwavering belief in a better, more enlightened way of living.